last week I seeded a couple of trays for transplants early into the greenhouse. Lettuce, Pac Choi, and my ancient lettuce seed has not germinated yet, but my Pac Choi is popping its little heads up. So that tray needs to go out to a greenhouse table to get some light. Okay, dudes, it's raining just a little bit. Before I take my tray of starts out to the greenhouse, I thought I'd better go check on the greenhouse. I haven't been out there in a couple of months, so I thought I'd take a look. I'm still kind of feeling stuffy headed. Not like I have congestion, just kind of head pressure, like tiniest bit of a sinus or ear infection or something. Oh my gosh, the snow's been rained off in a lot of places out here. And on top of like kind of feeling like, I got something stuck in my big toe in my left foot, like a tiny piece of sliver of glass or something. I couldn't find anything. I was digging around in it. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you my toe. And now I don't know whether my toe hurts because I dug all the skin off of it or because there's something still stuck in it. Anyway, so I'm just hobbling along. Oh my gosh. So good news. I can hardly believe it. But I'm going to say it. I'm getting a high tunnel from the USDA NRCS program. I think it's 22 feet by 48 feet. And it's going to go right there where I have my garlic planted. I've got to get the details all figured out because I might need an extension for how long it's going to take us to get it done. So anyway, Tyler's going to help me with that. Yeah, isn't that crazy? So many cool things I can do with that. I'm not growing cucumbers this year because I don't have enough space and I really just need to grow basil in the two, greenhouses that I have right now. But in the future, I could grow like a ton of cucumbers for, people want them. So I'll have more warm space. Anyway, very cool. Let's go take a look at the greenhouses, folks. So the snow is off my piles of seaweed. Look how small this one pile of seaweed has gotten. It's just like completely composted down. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, here we go. I wonder if some of my garlic isn't coming up over. This is the section where the new tunnel is supposed to go. Wow. So before we go into greenhouses, let's go take a look over here. I need to, I want to get some row cover, hoops and row cover on the top of these beds. Yeah, well, I don't see anything. Oh, nope, there's a garlic shoot right there. And it really helps to have row cover on because it warms things up. Plus, if any birds start coming through here, they won't kick around when those guys are just poking up. Yeah, okay, greenhouses. Okay, we're gonna do this greenhouse because this door is more manageable. Check this out. We've had wind and it's just all gapped open over here. Everything's all just ripped. Oh yeah, the Velcro has ripped off this plastic. It's just stapled on with house staples. Let's take a look here. Oh, there's that greenhouse. And let's get rid of these. Whoa. And that. And that is this greenhouse. So I just need to take a table out here and set it down here and deal with that. Yeah, okay, so this soil is not frozen, right? It's not at all frozen, and actually it's quite moist. So I also need to get some seeds out in these beds, just direct seeded. Orich, I don't know, spinach. I was thinking about some frizzy Lizzy, spicy greens maybe even, which wasn't planned. But I need to get some fertilizer in these beds. Last year I didn't put any compost on these beds because I didn't have any extra compost, and I don't have any extra compost this year. So I've got some fertilizer that I got years back, which supposedly maybe still okay, and I just need to throw it in and mix it into these beds. And since they're not frozen, I could do that. I could do that. Okay, there's my single tray of bok choy tucked underneath 2 layers of agrabah. Freezing weather is not expected, so should be good. Yeah. And then next week, we're supposed to have some clear weather. Night times are supposed to get down near freezing, but it should be fine. Should be okay. I'll get some tunnels, put on those garlic beds out there. Yeah. And then also, I should get myself an Allen drink. An Allen drink is lemon, orange, garlic blended together, and you just guzzle it. That's what I need to do. And have some eucalyptus steam or something. Anyway, dudes, I'm excited about this season. Every year I go into the season kind of like half dreading it in some ways, because it's like, oh my gosh, so much work. But I've got a lot of things figured out this year that I'm not gonna have to deal with figuring out how I'm gonna sell my stuff. Oakley dokley. I've got 3 little oranges, 1/4 of a lemon, and 1 clove of garlic. Oh, that's good actually. I can taste the garlic. It's good. I can do this. Okay, dudes. So I'm mailing off the copy of my signed dealy whopper for the tunnel for the NRCS program thing in the jig. Okay, dudes. So I'm back, and I wanted to get some fertilizer on those greenhouse beds today, but I don't know. This morning Tyler tried to dig some more things out of my toe, so maybe that'll help, but it's still goofy. And also there's a grant that I learned about at the farmers retreat, you know, a few weeks back. The microgrants for food security that I applied for last year. And so maybe I'll take a look at that because it's due tomorrow. Anyway, yes, maybe I'll do indoor things today. So I was thinking that maybe I should just get myself a little BCS. Okay, so I spent a few hours taking a look at BCS rototillers, doing a little research. And what I want it for mostly is for this rotary plow, which goes in to the pathway and kicks the dirt sideways off onto the bed, and it can build your beds rather than having to do it, you know, by hand with a shovel. And now that I have a lot more beds, it would be really nice. Of course, it's $2,000 for that attachment. Down at the bottom, it talks about the compatible BCS models. So all of these guys and these guys. And because I don't know a whole lot about motors, I was talking to Tyler. So we kind of narrowed it down to, you know, I was reading somewhere, may have been here, may have been somewhere else, that the ones that do best with rotary plow are the 852, 853, and 749. So we kind of narrowed it down to 853 and 749. So I was taking a look at those. The 749 is one they talk about, you know, standard 2-wheel tractor for market farmers. So, you know, that's me. And then there's also this 853 here. And one of the things that Tyler was saying is that the 853 has the kind of standard double cone spring-loaded clutch, and that this 749 has this patented power-safe clutch, which he said, you know, it's going to be safer, he said, but, you know, it's new. How's it going to work long-term? And he was like, you know, I feel just kind of better about this double cone clutch on the 853. So anyway, we're kind of eyeballing this 853 as being the one that I probably should get. Yeah. So anyway, the difference in price, the 853, 6,000, and the 749 isn't much more. But that's what we're talking about, price range. And that doesn't even include the tiller. So for example, if I go to build my BCS, you look at the tiller part that attachments you can get, and so a 26-inch or a 30-inch is like another $1,000. So okay, so you're talking about $6,000 plus another $1,000, $7,000 for the BCS plus the tiller. Then you add a rotary plow for another couple $1,000, and you're talking about $9,000. And so the grant is said for up to $5,000 for an individual. So that doesn't even cover it. And then once I started going into the grant and filling it out, it auto-filled for my selection, you know, of tools and equipment, $3,000. So that must be the limit for tools and equipment for an individual. And so that doesn't cover costs enough at all. And it would be great if we had enough extra money that would go towards that, you know, and then we could just fill in the rest. But I'm already going to have to do that with the NRCS program with the tunnel, because the price of the tunnel has gone up, and plus that doesn't even include shipping. So we're already going to have to get, you know, a chunk that we're going to have to add of our own money besides what I would be getting from the NRCS to cover the cost of the tunnel coming here and buying it and everything. So what I did was I switched up the microgrant, and I just put in for a drip irrigation system I'm going to need that for the new tunnel. And so I don't know if I'm going to get this. It might be a long shot, but I just went ahead and did that. Taking another look at the seed that I started germinating last week. This is the Orich Old Johnny's seed from 2021. I wanted to see if it was still good. And seed from my own garden for the 2023 season, the 2024 season. And I'm still not seeing any germination from the Johnny seed. Last week, the 2023 Orich seed had already popped open and most of those germinated. But the 2024 seed, you know, last week I saw a few tails, but most of the seed didn't germinate. So my best batch of Orich seed is for the 2023 season. And then taking a look at Pac Choi, spinach, and basil that I saved for my own garden. Pac Choi was for the 2023 season, and also the spinach from that for that year, and then the basil I saved last year for planting this year. Last week the Pac Choi popped open, and I was hoping the spinach and basil would be germinating by now, but nothing going on with the spinach seed or the basil seed. Kind of hoped that the basil seed would work out. And you know, maybe it's just taking a little bit longer to germinate, but I don't have high hopes for those guys. Okay, can you see? This is the Salanova lettuce. And we've got a few guys popping up here. Not everyone. Should I have used old seed? Probably not. Some of them got the little pellets still stuck on their heads. I don't know, are they gonna be strong enough to pop those open? Okay, both flats, Pac Choi lettuce out here on the table. I'm wondering if maybe I shouldn't just start another flat of lettuce just in case this one doesn't make it, or even maybe if I want more out here in the greenhouse beds. It's like 40-something degrees outdoor temperatures, and I'm seeing a bunch more Orich popping up in here, which actually I would love to have. Just let it come up, you know? So gosh, I don't know. Here's another one. They're everywhere in this bed, which volunteer orage, that's awesome, dudes. I'm happy with volunteer orage. This bed where the orage is coming up is where I was going to plant the Pac Choi transplants when they're ready. So if I don't throw fertilizer on here and, you know, turn it over, I won't disturb that orage that's coming up. And so, like, I've already planted some orage seed, right? This is awesome. So, you know, maybe what I'll do is later on, I will just put a little bit of fertilizer around the transplants when I transplant them. Anyway, I'm thinking about that. I'm just dragging around. I didn't do anything today. I keep thinking, you know, like, is this just allergies from sitting around for months and months with the indoor, dry, dusty air or something? And if I just got out here and got going, that this wouldn't help kind of my, blah. Look who's out prancing around in my garden. Oh boy. I'm gonna need to put the fence up eventually.